April 7, 1944, Auschwitz-Birkenau, German-occupied Poland. 2 young men crawl into a hiding spot they built themselves, a false floor concealed beneath an enormous woodpile at the edge of the camp. Above them lie planks and logs sprinkled with tobacco to throw off the SS guard dogs. Their names, Walter Rosenberg, 19 years old, and Alfred Wetzler, 25. For 3 days they will remain here, while SS guards and their dogs search just meters above them. 3 days without food, without water, without daring to make a single sound. Their goal? To become the first prisoners ever to escape Auschwitz and tell the world what is truly happening here. By the spring of 1944, Auschwitz is already a highly industrialized killing machine. Yet outside the camp walls, almost nobody knows what is really going on. Rumors exist, vague reports from individual escapees, but no complete, detailed, verifiable truth. Walter Rosenberg is determined to change that. Walter is deported to Auschwitz in September 1942. What sets him apart from most other prisoners is that he speaks German fluently. This ability saves his life. It earns him a job that comes with privileges almost unimaginable for a concentration camp inmate. He is assigned to a section of the camp where the belongings of murdered prisoners are sorted. Later, he rises to the position of camp registrar, a role that gives him access to information most prisoners can only dream of: transport lists, prisoner counts, internal statistics. Walter begins memorizing numbers, thousands of numbers, every digit a human being. For over 2 years, he observes the system from the inside. He witnesses the selections on the platform, who is sent to work, who is sent directly to the gas chambers. He knows the capacity of the crematoria. He knows how many people can be burned per day. He has the entire layout of the camp in his head. Every barrack, every watchtower, every electrified fence line. But all of this knowledge is worthless as long as he cannot get it out of the camp. In the spring of 1944, something changes. Walter and his friend Alfred Wetzler overhear SS guards talking about something that makes them sound nervous and excited at the same time. The code word is making the rounds: Hungarian salami. It means only one thing: the deportation of the entire Hungarian Jewish population, almost 800,000 people, is imminent. Walter notices new construction work at the edge of the camp, extensions that are clearly being prepared for a massive new wave of prisoners. He understands. If he does not act now, this information will die with him, and hundreds of thousands will ride unknowingly to their deaths, just like all those before them. Walter and Alfred begin developing an escape plan so daring that nobody before them has ever pulled it off. Fellow prisoners have given them a crucial tip. In the outer section of the camp, an area designated for future expansion that prisoners call Mexico, lies an enormous woodpile, building materials for future barracks. The SS does not search this area with the same intensity as the main camp. With the help of a small number of trusted fellow prisoners, Walter and Alfred spend days secretly carving a false floor into this woodpile. Tobacco and petrol are spread over the hiding spot to confuse the dogs, a trick originally passed down by Soviet prisoners of war. On April 7th, 1944, the moment comes. During a brief window when their work group is unsupervised, Walter and Alfred slip into the hiding spot. What follows are 3 of the longest days of their lives. Above them, they hear boots tapping on the wood. They hear dogs sniffing, sometimes just centimeters from their hideout. They barely dare to breathe. The SS systematically combs through the entire campgrounds, standard protocol for any escape. But after 3 days without success, the search within the immediate camp perimeter is called off. On the night of April 10th, Walter and Alfred leave their hiding spot and begin the most dangerous part of their escape. For 11 days, they move exclusively at night through German-occupied Polish territory, across mountains, through rivers, through dense forests. They have no map, no compass, barely any food. Walter navigates by following the Soa River, a route he had memorized from a single page in a children's atlas. Every encounter with another human being could mean a death sentence. Yet they make it. They reach the border with Slovakia, their homeland. What follows is just as decisive as the escape itself. In the Slovak town of Žilina, they make contact with the local Jewish community leadership. They are hidden in the basement of a Jewish retirement home, where they remain concealed for 2 weeks. Here begins one of the most remarkable moments in Holocaust history, an interrogation lasting almost 48 hours. An engineer named Oskar Kresniansky questions Walter and Alfred separately, so their accounts cannot become mixed. Hour after hour, they report every detail they know: transport dates, prisoner numbers, the names of fellow inmates, the architecture of the gas chambers, the operation of the crematoria, the exact capacity, 2,000 corpses per day. The result is a 32-page document that will later go down in history as the Vrba Wetzler report, the first complete, detailed eyewitness account of the industrial extermination machinery at Auschwitz ever written. But then something happens that will haunt Walter for the rest of his life. The report, which was meant to prevent the imminent deportation of Hungarian Jews, is delayed. A copy reaches the chairman of the Hungarian Jewish Council, but he holds it back for months, afraid it could jeopardize negotiations he is conducting at that very moment with SS officer Adolf Eichmann. While the report sits in a drawer, the deportations of Hungarian Jews to Auschwitz begin on May 15, 1944. Within just a few weeks, more than 430,000 people are transported there. Most of them are murdered immediately upon arrival. Walter is devastated. Everything he risked, 3 days in a woodpile, 11 nights through enemy territory, all the knowledge he smuggled out of the camp at the cost of his life, seems to have been for nothing. But the story of the report is not yet over. With a delay, the document finally reaches influential figures abroad, including the Vatican, the Red Cross, and Western governments. By the summer of 1944, international pressure on Hungary's government begins to mount. Diplomatic protests pile up. On July 7, 1944, Hungarian Regent Miklos Horthy unexpectedly orders an immediate halt to all further deportations. The death trains to Auschwitz from Hungary are stopped. Historians estimate that this halt saves the lives of more than 200,000 Jews who were still in Budapest at the time. Walter Rosenberg, who from that point forward lives under a new name, Rudolf Vrba, to sever any connection to his old identity registered by the Nazis, survives the war. He becomes a scientist, writes his memoirs, and for decades testifies as one of the most important witnesses in trials against Nazi war criminals. Until his death in 2006, one question never leaves him. How many more lives could have been saved if his report had only been taken seriously a few weeks earlier?